Hey guys, GrownAssNerd here, and welcome to my first video of recent pickups. Hey guys, so the first thing I want to show you, one of my recent pickups. I was really surprised to find this because it's in the box in the case. It's Dragon Spirit. It's a Famicom game. It's in really good condition. I used to play a lot as a kid on the original Nintendo. But to find this over here in this good condition, it's got like all the little papers and the manuals and everything that comes with it. I was pretty excited to find it. Alright, well, Dragon Spirit, the New Legend, was developed by Namco. It's basically a vertical scrolling shooter. You play as a soldier that can actually transform into this blue dragon and shoot fireballs and flames from his mouth, and you're basically destroying other monsters along the way until you fight a boss at the end of each round. It's a pretty decent game. I really enjoyed it as a kid, and I still enjoy it now. That's why I picked it up. You can even get different power-ups in the game where you get different abilities to shoot different fireballs and stuff, like, you know, maybe 3 at a time and so on. The usual kind of power-ups you would have for a vertical scrolling shooter in a game like this. It was originally an arcade game, but it later got ported over to a bunch of different consoles, and I really enjoy it. I think everyone should have this game. It's definitely a gem to me. Next up, I found, surprised to find this Super Famicom game in the box. Actually has the manual and the cart with it and everything. It's Doom. I picked it up for 1,000 yen. It's about roughly $9 here. I thought it was a good find, so I can plug that in. I've heard that the Japanese version is pretty much the same as the US release. I'm not quite sure. I haven't popped it in yet, but looks great, and it was super cheap for Doom. I mean, I think it's a great find. Next up, I have a bunch of GameCube games. I actually got these for free from my brother-in-law back in the States. My wife went over there and visited them, and he knows now that I collect older video games in general, so he gave me a bunch of these. You can see some good titles in there. Yeah. Spyro, TAC2, Kirby Air Ride, sorry, X-Men Legends 2, Super Mario Strikers, Donkey Konga 2, Mario Super Baseball, and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I haven't played this yet. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, so that should be interesting. So I'll plug those in and try those out, definitely. Also, while my wife was over there, she got me a surprise. So I talked on my Instagram about always wanting an American version of the Dreamcast, the US release, because I have the Japanese version, but obviously they're region locked, so I can't play any American games, and I'd like to start collecting for it, and so she got me one, obviously. It's a really decent looking one too. It's really pretty. It almost looks brand new, but obviously it's not. She also got me a game with it, which I'm surprised at which game she got. Resident Evil Code Veronica. Doesn't have the front cover, but I don't even think this is the original case it came in. But you know, I can hunt that down later, try to get a complete copy. But I'm surprised she got this for me because I've been wanting to play this. This is one of the Resident Evil games that I have not played yet, and I've heard that it's actually pretty good. So I have that to try. And I can actually start collecting for the Sega Dreamcast now. Not just the Japanese imports, which I have a few of those, but now I can actually have the American versions and understand what I'm doing. Now, I spotted this in one of the used stores over here. This is the Sega Game Gear, this big bulky thing. It does not work. It was labeled that it does not work, but like I've done in the past, I buy things that say they don't work, and I can bring them home, and a lot of times they do work. This one does not work. I'm thinking it's a power source problem. It just doesn't come on at all. Put batteries in and everything. So I'm hoping to do some researching online to maybe fix this myself, or maybe find someone that maybe knows how to fix these and can solve the problem so I can play this. So I have right many Game Gear games, but I just haven't had a working Game Gear. They're hard to find and they're pretty expensive over here. Also picked up 2 more NES games. It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was developed by Rare. It's an action-adventure game. Now, everyone's seen the movie, right? Well, if you haven't, you definitely should. I mean, you can't go on living life without seeing Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's such a great movie. That's why I rented this game most of the time. Because of the movie, especially the beginning where Roger's working on set with this baby and they go through this whole funny skit and it's playing on TV, then they get done and they leave the scene and you find out the baby is actually this grumpy guy with this deep voice and he smokes cigars and it's crazy. The whole movie is really, really good. I mean, look at this. Who would not want to watch a movie with this? Look at that, it's just crazy. That's Judge Doom. He kills tunes. It's great. Just watch the movie if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you know what I'm saying, and you probably love it. Now, the game, basically, the whole point of the game is you're looking for Marvin Acme's will. You're looking for different hints and clues, and a fun fact about this game, actually, is if there was a number in this game where you could actually call it in real life, and it would have just like Rabbit's voice on there giving you tips and hints on the game, on how to progress in the game. Now, as the years went by, that phone number actually got reassigned to a sex chat hotline. I thought it was pretty interesting. I actually have the phone number, so I'm wondering if it still is that hotline or not. Maybe I could call and just test it out.
Welcome to America's hottest talk line. Ladies, to talk to interesting and exciting guys free, press 1 now.
Game is definitely a challenge, and I guess it could be somewhat a little boring, but it's definitely something from my childhood, and that's why I grabbed it. I had to have it. Also got Crash Dummies. The Incredible Crash Dummies was developed by Gray Matter. It's basically a platformer. You remember the Crash Dummies, like back in the early 90s, like all the commercials where they're talking about safety tips and wearing your seat belts, and they had a bunch of toys for them. I had a few. The game itself is pretty difficult at first until you learn the controls. Basically, the dummies are at work, and there's this character called the Junk Man, and he comes and like pretty much kidnaps 2 of your guys. I guess he's going to turn them into junk bots or something strange, or use them for spare parts. I'm not entirely sure. You'll be running around like level spraying oil on these junk bots, kind of like slow them down so you can get past them. I found it pretty neat that at some point in the game you can lose your head, and the left and right controls flip on you. I guess it kind of adjusts makes it a challenge for you, not having a head in the game. I thought the idea was pretty unique. I'm going to clean these carts up too. I kind of find it a little bit fun cleaning up old gaming carts. I don't know why. It's just, they get the old stickers on there, right there, the old Blockbuster stickers and stuff. It's kind of fun getting them off and cleaning up the cart, I guess, because you're making them look all nice and neat and shiny, almost new. Also got a newer game. I've been waiting to play this game because I didn't want to pay $60 for it, because I played the demo, it seemed good, but I didn't want to buy it out brand new. This is Dying Light. I waited for a good price. I got this from a buddy of mine, and I don't know, if you play it, I mean, hop on Xbox One and play it with me. I like horror games, and I don't like horror games. Like, I played Alien Isolation a lot, and my wife would sit on the couch in front of me and just laugh at how freaked out I would be. It's weird, like back in the day playing Resident Evil when I was younger, as a kid. I know I was pretty young playing that. kind of freaked me out, and I'd have to take time and like take breaks in between sessions of playing because it would just freak me out so much, get my heart rate pumping. And nowadays I play Resident Evil, obviously no problem. But these newer games, these newer modern games like Dying Light and Alien Isolation and stuff, I kind of have to like take breaks in between too, just like when I was a kid, because I'm like, the stress gets me, it stresses me out. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't just play through them straight. I have to take my time. It took me like 2 weeks to beat Alien Isolation just because I had to keep taking breaks. Like, I'd play for like an hour and I'd be like, all right, that's enough stress on me. I gotta take a break. I gotta play something happy. Also, I got something right here, not gaming related, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's actually a model kit for a Back to the Future, the car, the DeLorean. It's like 1,800 yen, so it was like 17 bucks. Thought it was pretty cool. Something I could put together. Alright, well that was all my recent pickups for the week. Hopefully I get to do more of these and show you more of what I can find around here. I do try to collect as many Japanese imports as I can while I'm here, so that's why I'm trying to go as often as possible as I can afford. In the meantime, I like to build up on my US collection too, so I'll order a game here or there online, as you can see, and some collectors around here too are willing to trade or sell, so that's like how I got my NES games, obviously. Every now and then you'll see these around here in the used or recycle shops in Japan, but not too often, and a lot of times they, I don't know, they think they're gold sometimes. Like, they were charging $100 for a broken NES and $75 each for the Nintendo games, actually. Yeah, ridiculous. I think it was like Final Fantasy and Zelda, $75 a piece for those, and that was kind of crazy. I don't think they knew what they had, or they were looking at eBay prices for someone that jacked up the prices, and that was just not happening. They're probably still sitting there at the store, and that was like a month ago. But yeah, I like to go as often as I can, and I get to show you more of what I find. So thanks for watching.